So Tiffany Haddish is releasing a memoir, and one of the things she'll be discussing in her book is about her relationship with Common once again. But she mentioned that she feels like Common has a distinct dating cycle. Yes, ever since Common dated Erica Badu, his dating cycle is he dates someone for like 2 years or a year and a half, and it ends, and he bounces to somebody else. But I do blame Erica for this, right? They dated, I think when I checked, they dated 2000 to 2002. And Erica left Common. And I think that was the last time that he allowed that to happen. And Common mentioned in 2019 that Erica was his first love. And I agree. Like, Erica is nicely built. Erica, when I first saw her in that On and On video, she had the full lips and the green eyes and the green head wrap. I was like, oh my God, who is she and how can I date her? Erica is beautiful. However, Erica has this thing where she doesn't stay in relationships long. She just bounces from relationship to relationship to relationship. And when I see her and Andre Benjamin, Andre put out his Flute album, and Andre got gray hair now, but he's very earthy and very relaxed. And then Erica's still that way. And it's like, man, you two actually should have stayed together. So they busted up in 99. And I feel like in the late 2000s, they should have got back together. Because I think, because Andre's never gotten married. He has one kid, and that was with Erica. And when the kid was in high school, I think he moved down to Texas to be closer to his son. They still have a really good connection. And Erica lately has just been bouncing the dude. Because I think at her core, I think she probably knows that Andre was probably the best person for her, you know? So back to Common. So I think for Common, when Erica busted up with him, I think he really loved her. I think of all the women that he's dated, she might be the only one that he probably ever thought about getting married to. And I think women don't really understand that when a woman breaks up with a guy or she divorces him and he really loves her, it is heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking just because most dudes, if he's with somebody that he cares about, he's all in. So when he gets blindsided or it just ends, it's devastating. So for women out there watching this, talk to your brothers, your dads, your uncles, a friend of yours, your exes, and ask them what it's like when a guy loses a woman he really loves. Because I don't think we hear this enough, and I don't think women discuss these things because sometimes women don't care about us when these things happen. But it's quite devastating. So I think for Common, he seems like he doesn't want to get his heart broken, so he breaks up before he gets that close. He's like, when I feel like I'm getting that close in love, I'm breaking it off. Or he could just be a guy where he dates someone for a couple of years and it's like, well, it's over. I'm moving on. So for someone like Tiffany, it was probably devastating when he left because Common is the quintessential intelligent thug. Because I think sometimes women want a guy who has some thug in him and some intelligence in him, but Common is 50-50. Or kind of this point more 60-40. But still, he's a very super intelligent guy, but he is from the streets of Chicago. And for Angela, so I think that's why when Angela Rye was mad and when Tiffany was mad, I think it's rare to meet a guy who actually has some thug in him, but who is super smart. And also in Tiffany's case, I think Common brought a calmness to it because Common's a calm dude. So I'm sure he brought a lot of wisdom to her. I think back then they said that she practiced yoga because of him. And this is the pandemic era, which was a wild era because now we're like 4 years removed from that. And there was so many people who busted up. There was so many people got divorced because they realized when everybody had to stay with each other or be around each other, a lot of couples just hated each other. So they ended up getting divorced. But you had couples like Common and Tiffany who actually looked like they were happy. Like even for me, like me and my ex, we were great during the pandemic. I mean, we did that was like full on Netflix and chill. We watched Squid Game. We watched WandaVision. She came up with these ideas. We went to the park. We did drive-ins when drive-ins opened. We did a lot of drive-ins. We sat by a highway and just talked and all night. Like it was like a nice romantic throwback era during the pandemic. Now, it all went to hell a few years later for me. But during that time period, that was a good that pandemic was chaotic, but it was like, for some couples, it was very romantic. So when I look at Tiffany, I kind of feel bad for her because so when Common left, I think she went off a cliff because he was gone. and I think she started to drink. And I think she said recently she's been 6 months sober and 6 months celibate. The sober thing happened because they found her. She was sleeping in a car, and she was arrested for DUI. And I think also during that era when she was drinking, she said she woke up next to ugly dudes. Now, you chose these dudes. you can say, oh, they're ugly. Whatever. You chose to sleep with them. So I'm just saying. But I understand people do crazy things where they're drunk. So for Tiffany's sake, she focused on herself, which is good. Celibacy is not a bad thing, get in tune with your body. But I think she can meet another guy. They might not be Common, right? Common is just a rare dude. But she can meet some guys that's Common like. And speaking of Common, so Common right now, he's been dating Jennifer Hudson. I think they went official at the beginning of this year, but I think they've been dating since at the end of 2023. I don't know what's going to happen with them. I think J Hood, at this point, she should know that Common might be there for a little while and he'll bounce. If she falls in love with him and he bounces, we might have another Tiffany Haddish. But I don't think so. I think J Hood is smart. Plus, she got her talk show, so she's busy. So I think J Hood understands the situation with Common, which makes me wonder, will Common ever settle down with someone? And I think Common, when I think of him, I think of George Clooney and Warren Beatty. Like Clooney, if there's a difference between Clooney and Common, is that I think Clooney handled his women differently than Common. I think Common, when he's with his women, says like, "Oh my God, there's no one like you. You're a goddess. You're a queen." And I think these women really eat it up. And I think he's sincere, but it's short term. I think when Clooney was with the women that he dated, I think he told them, "Listen, we're gonna have a good time. I don't know how long this is gonna last, but I want to be honest with you. I don't think I'm ever gonna get married." But we're gonna have some fun, and I think that worked because I never heard any females say anything bad about George Clooney. Even when he got married, they were congratulating George because I never thought Clooney was going to get married. And I think when he married Amal, she had dark features like his first wife. I think it was Talia Balsam was his first wife, and then also she was smart. And I think for the women that Clooney dated, I think he was always smarter than the women that he dated. And I think for Amal, because she's a lawyer, like an international lawyer, that was like, oh my God, she's smarter than me. And I think that turned him on. I think the same thing is going to happen to Common. I think he's going to have to meet another chick that's like Erica. And I think that's the woman he's going to settle down with. Same as Warren Beatty. Because I think Common's like 52, 53. I think Beatty got married when he was around 53. And Beatty, he started knocking off these starlets like he dated Joan Collins from Dynasty. He dated Joan Collins in 1960. And in 1990, he dated Madonna. So Joan Collins in 1960, in 1990, Madonna. But then he met Annette Bening, I think, for Bugsy. And then they've been married since 1992. But he got married when he was around 53. Clooney got married when he was he got married around 52. Clooney got married around he was 53. I think Common's around 52, 53 now. So I do think Common will settle down, but it's going to have to take a real special chick for that to happen. For Tiffany, okay. So for the last time, let's hope this book is the last time Tiffany talks about Common, because you have to close the door sooner or later. He's moved on. You have to too. Now I understand it. Like Common most likely is probably the love of her life, but he's not coming back. So for your sake, Tiffany, sell the book, promote the book, talk about Common. But once this book tour is over, close the book on Common. Continue to get yourself together. Go out there and date. Don't sleep with anybody. If you do, whatever. But then meet a guy, because he might not be Common, but he might be the best guy for you.